Hello everyone! In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at Clone Priest. There are a couple of different variants of Clone Priest around, all of them are capable of dealing immense amounts of damage, and this build is the full OTK build. So what makes this the full OTK build is that this build features 4 minions, exactly 4 minions. There's Malygos, there's Velen, there's Ciliax, and there's Radiant Elemental. And the importance of having exactly 4 minions is that Lesser Diamond Spellstone, well, once it's buffed up to be a Greater Diamond Spellstone, is going to resurrect 4 different friendly minions. So with this variant, after your minions have died, you are always guaranteed to get Velen, and you're guaranteed to get Malygos from your Spellstones. And you're also always guaranteed to get a Radiant Elemental. So that means that after you play a Spellstone, boom boom, suddenly your Mind Blasts are dealing 20 damage, your Holy Smites are dealing 14 damage, and they're all also discounted by 1 mana, so that's going to be an OTK every time. The same applies if you get a chance to play a Cloning Gallery with this deck. You will never have too many minions, so you're always able to push in a lot of damage if your spell damage minions are still in the deck. Well, if everything is so great, and this one is so good at killing people, then why doesn't everyone play this variant? Because there's also another variant around that has Lyra and Lich King and stuff like that in it. And the reason is that this variant, while this is very, very good against lower decks, it's also very good in most combo mirrors, with the exclusion of Malygos Rogue, which tends to be a little bit faster than this one. But this can suffer against aggression. Secret Odd Mages, Midrange Hunters, Odd Rogues. These sorts of aggressive decks have a very good chance to succeed against this build, in particular because this build doesn't have a lot of defensive tools. You really need to get your Ciliax, you need to hit your Massisterias right. If you find your Ciliax maybe with the Shadow Essence or just purely finding it, then you can maybe keep resurrecting it and do things against these aggro decks, but often you just end up dying. This is not to say that just putting in some Witchwood Grizzlies and stuff like that into the deck would solve this problem. It doesn't. Even the more minion heavy build of this archetype is still vulnerable to aggro decks. Those are still all unfavored matchups. Its unfavored and favored matchups actually don't change. They are still the exact same. It's just that the favored matchups, the more minion heavy build doesn't win them as convincingly, and the unfavored matchups, the more minion heavy build doesn't lose them as rough as what this build does. So it's really a meta call on which build you want to play. This one is by far better if there's a slow meta, but as there are more and more aggro decks, the minion heavy build becomes slowly better and better. But you need quite a big number of those aggressive decks in order for the minion heavy build to actually overtake this overall, because you're gaining like less than 10 percentage points against aggro, and you're losing like 20 against those slow decks. But at a specific balance of the meta, enough aggression, and the minion heavy build becomes the better one. All of the ways that this deck wins are through these damage spells, but there are still quite a few variants of that. Of course, resurrecting all of your good stuff with Spellstones is a great way to do it. In a couple of % of games you get to play the Cerex Cloning Gallery so that you have some damage in hand and you haven't drawn any of your minions, and that's instant lethal. And then there's a big number of variants focused on Eternal Servitude, resurrecting one of your minions, and especially Vivid Nightmare in connection with that Servitude. So you resurrect Velen, you Vivid Nightmare Velen, now you have 2 Velens, so boom. That would be 20 damage Mind Blast, for example. Most of the time you have nothing really to be afraid of regarding various transformation effects, because you get some of your minions from Cloning Gallery, you get some of your minions from Shadow Essences, and even if these get polymorphed or hexed, well, you simply have the real ones left in the deck. But in the rare occasion where you actually draw the real ones first, you can do stuff like play Velen and Shadow Word Death your own Velen in order to ensure that it goes into the Resurrect pool. When working your way through all of these various combos with the Spellstones and with Servitudes and Nightmares and Cloning Galleries, Radiant Elemental is one of the key cards. Usually you can do Radiant Elemental first. It will discount all of your spells by 1 and you're likely to play more than 2 spells, so it will give you an overall buff to your mana pool for that turn. So you can do Radiant Elemental, Servitude, Nightmare, Mind Blast type of things that you would usually take more than 10 mana to do. You have also some great removal in this deck, because in addition to Mass Hysteria there's also Psychic Scream, and Scream is a very interesting tool because you can put stuff into your opponent's deck, especially when you're facing other combo decks, and you can just make their draws worse by putting stuff into their decks. And one of the most challenging cards to use with this build is the Shadow Visions. Because with Shadow Visions you can try to fetch so many things. So you need to try to think, okay, am I looking for damage? Am I looking for Vivid Nightmare to copy stuff? Am I looking for additional value with multiple spell stones? Am I looking for a gallery? Am I looking for removal? It's just an incredibly flexible tool. And often you need to wait a little bit with the Shadow Visions because you're not sure what exactly is the right tool that you're going to need in this particular game. As for the mulligans with this deck, they can get a little bit complicated. Shadow Essence is a great keep in any matchup. You can use that for defensive purposes, you can use that in order to attack. But what else? That really starts to depend. Because when you're playing against aggressive decks and you need to be the defender, then you're looking for Ziliax. Ziliax is a great card to defend yourself. You're looking for Mass Hysteria, another great card to defend yourself. And then, depending on the deck, if there's going to be a lot of tokens, you want to hold on to Spirit Lash. You want to hold on to something like Holy Smite against Hunter, potentially, because if they do like early Scavenging Hyena and you don't have any tools to get rid of that, you can always at least Holy Smite it. But against many other classes, that 2 damage is simply not very meaningful. And if you're going for a faster game, then Radiant Elemental is also a good keep, so that you can get some minion on the board early, and that will also entice the opponent to remove it. And if you have a Radiant Elemental, then it's attractive to keep Powered Shield to make it more difficult to remove and get to use cheap spells from going from that point on. Just opens up very interesting possibilities. Whereas if you're in a slower matchup, you may want to keep Cloning Gallery, you may even want to keep stuff like Velen or Malygos. Like if you're in a Priest Mirror, you really want to hold on to Velen, Scream, so that you can get your Velen into play as soon as possible and make your opponent have to wonder, okay, do I need to Scream this? And if they have to use their Screams early, then that will help you later in the game. And getting that Velen Screamed back into your deck is actually also helpful with your gallery. So a couple of very different approaches. I have had a tendency to be a little bit too greedy against those unfavored matchups myself. I would need to focus better on keeping just to that Ziliax Mass Hysteria removal type of line. All in all, it's a deck that requires a surprising amount of decisions really, because the dream draw of this deck is just that you play your gallery and you win the game. But that dream draw does not happen often. Most of the time you have to think very carefully how you optimize your chances. If you enjoy this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, let's go take a look at this full OTK Clone Priest in action. Well, it can still be a Taunt Warrior and he can still potentially win. Elemental, Ziliax. I might just keep the Radiant. Let's mulligan all the rest. I did not really want to draw the other Radiant though, but we'll see. It's an Odd Warrior. It's probably going to be a Taunt variant because he kept this card. Of course, sometimes it happens to be a good card anyway, but when they keep the leftmost card, they are most likely going to be of the Taunt variant. And that means that he might be able to just play those Taunt minions and kill me before I get to assemble enough pieces to kill him. I think I won't do anything here. I could have played the Radiant Elemental, that was kind of an option there. I don't have any Radiant Elementals in that Xerx, which is a weakness. But we'll see. Well, now I don't have Velen in Xerx either. Fair enough, fair enough. With cards in hand, I think we chill. We'll see. We need to play a bigger sample size to get a good feel of it. 9 cards in hand. This Hysteria is not going to do much against these sorts of minions. Alright, let's wait and see. Thompson, what's the game plan for Spell Hunter to beat OTK Paladin? We're struggling to win against it all day. Yes, you should, because it's a terrible matchup for the Spell Hunter, because Spell Hunter doesn't have enough threats. Generally you want your spell stones, and then you want to go into Rexaform to have some pressure. Because you just don't have enough threats in that deck. Or you might be able to get like spell stones and to my sides and then Zul'jin. But the threat density of the deck is so very low that it's extremely difficult for it to win. I can just mass Hysteria these. They don't even die. Inconvenient. But let's see. My hand is full. I have to play one of the Radiant Elementals here. Velen next turn, right? Let's dispel those so that he can't get value from those. 9 cards in hand. Roll Shadow Visions for another Mind Blast. Can't find a Mind Blast. I could find a Holy Smite. That will do. 9 cards in hand, okay. I'm taking a bit of damage here and I don't really have that many tools. I can pretty easily kill the Velen and just keep pushing phase every turn. But I also don't have anything like a Scream, so I can't get rid of these minions. And that's a bit of a problem for me right now.
Not all who wander are lost.
We drop the Velen here. I also have not found spell stones so far. So spell stones are not getting buffed. No screams, no spell stones. He can simply shield slam the Velen. He was able to find Diehorn hatchlings from both stone hills. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, there is like a lot of damage coming in. So I probably need to resurrect my Velen in order to do some Spirit Lashes, just so that I can heal up. It's not really what I want to be doing. I just don't see much of an alternative right now. If I do one Spirit Lash, it doesn't kill a whole lot.
Not all who wander are lost.
Well, it does kill a bunch of them. So I guess one Spirit Lash is enough. We will be able to kill this Velen, of course. But I suppose this is acceptable. Because I get back to 30. But I hold on to another Spirit Lash, so I still have more healing later. Does he have a second Shield Slam? No, but he has an Amani Warbear. He's at 42. $46. Oh, wait, Celiax. Well, I would have rather had it from the gallery. Still no means of resurrecting anything. And that's not a lot of fun. No screams, no essences, no spell stones. Cloning gallery brings Malygos. Just Malygos. That's not great either.
Unity, precision,
I'll probably play the Celiax out there and heal up. Let's see about this one. He needs to go with his... He needs to go with the Sulfurous in order to start applying pressure. Eclipse District is brainless most of the time. I have not had any of those good draws. People keep telling me that there are draws that make this brainless, but I just have not had any of those. Not a single one. Like, every game has been a huge struggle. I mean, I am only a Vivid Nightmare top deck away from winning the game. So now I gallery the Mali. And after I've galleried the Mali, I'm just going to coin Spirit Lash, which is then going to heal me back to full, so that I don't die, but I might still die just a little bit later. Overall, not looking great. Oh, but that is really, really good for me, because I will just Anduin that away. That will buy me time. So that was incredibly good for me. I never expected him to skip a hero power, but I'll take it. Alright. Haven't found any spell stones. I guess the Warbear is pretty good. That's probably going to be double Pixie too. 34 damage. I cannot deal 34 damage. If he has a shield sum, he still has enough armor to kill Mali. But I need that, because I need that if I get the Nightmare, I can resurrect Malygos. That'll be 2, 5, 6. 6 mana. 8 mana. To just roll through this. So this turn has to be the Malygos. And hopefully I can survive here. But I would need to get the Vivid Nightmare. If I can't find Vivid Nightmare, I will lose. Because I haven't found any spell stones. I didn't find any screams. Yeah, but do you know which warrior version is better at the moment? The one with quests or one without? The one with quest. There are so many combo decks. And the one without the quest loses every single combo game. Like, it would never beat this deck, the one without the quest. But like here, he can potentially win this game. Yeah, right now he's still winning. Or is he? Malygos. Well, there's my Vivid Nightmare. So, did I count this right? 2, 3, 6, 8 mana. Yeah. Malygos or Belen? We can do Malygos, right? Yeah, we can do Mali. There. So good to see you. Alright. Well, it's not an odd rogue. So, Malygos Rogue, Tempo Rogue. There are still plenty of rogues that this can be. Let's see about that. He kept a couple of cards. I'm going in with the Radiant Elemental Powered Shield here. Let's get some draw going. And build a 2-5, which is not that easy to deal with. Had to pay Gallery Boost and store to make sure to play the rogue. Well, that's seriously a tough field. Okay, so probably Malygos Rogue then. Well, he has Vanishes and stuff in that deck. I want to Spirit Lash these and heal this up. Now it's vulnerable to backstab though. It wasn't at 4 health. The blade and... yeah, I should not have healed it, because now he can blade it down. Oh, he doesn't even blade it down. Interesting. He will blade it down next turn, right? Now how can I do this? I obviously have the option to coin Shadow Essence this turn. I still have the Shadow Visions left. But getting this Velen is going to be tricky. I still try with the coin. Another Radiant Elemental, really? That is not quite what I had in mind. Probably using the Holy Smite was not good here. I want to play my Radiant Elemental out there. Let's just Mass Dispel to draw. As Hysteria doesn't really help me in this matchup because there won't be many minions. There's only another Shiny Finder and another Minstrel.
There once was a man from Gilneas.
And he doesn't even care about his Minstrels anymore. So there's a chance that I die next turn. Resurrection isn't good enough. This Velen is not going to die, it's just going to be vanished or sapped. I have no damage in hand either. Well. That's some damage. Coin Essence, smite your own Malygos. Well, we'll see. I currently don't have a way to resurrect the Velen. Let's see. Probably need to scream that 3-2 back into his deck, weaken his draws a little bit. Maybe next turn we try to get the Velen down. I don't see that winning, but we can always try. He's still missing something.
Not all who wander are lost.
Let's play Velen. Let's draw a card. This Velen is going to be returned to my hand with Vanish or with Sap. I don't see him killing it. And that's a good one. Because that's going to be evasion. So it's Velen again, right?
Not all
It's still Velen again. And I just Holy Smite him once now. He becomes immune for this turn, but then the immunity goes away. And he still needs to deal with the Velen. Another immunity is not strong enough. Okay, I guess 13 cards left and he has the combo. Tough. I'll keep Velen and Scream. I'm not a believer in being able to just cloning gallery my way to the win. Not a single time. Well, I have the option to play Radiant Elemental Shield here. I have another Radiant Elemental in the deck, so I think I will do this. It will help me start drawing through the deck a little bit. Let's see what I can find. He might not have an answer to the Radiant Elemental. Hi, Meyer. Oh, it's the coin version. Alright. I suppose I have to give him a coin. Yeah, I think I have to give him a coin. I also don't want to leave him with a platform that he can use to play powered shields on and stuff. Or even do something like coin Celiax there. 8 cards. Do I want to coin a Shadow Essence? What could I achieve by coining Shadow Essence? It's either Celiax or it's Radiant Elemental. I already drew both Velen and Malygos. So I don't think I want to coin it. I probably will save this actually until he screams back my Velen. That might be the line of action I'm choosing here. Yeah. More powered shields. Well, I suppose we use them. 9 cards in hand. Next turn I probably will coin the Velen, but he will undoubtedly respond to that with a scream. But my hand is going to be full, so I have to do something. Yeah, we're coining the Velen here. And now he has to have the Scream. He's 10 cards deep into his deck. Does he have Scream? He has played 1 Shadow Visions, but he's probably looking for more damage rather than a Scream. There's a Scream. Now I can get some kind of a chance to Shadow Essence the Velen back. Because I managed to get it back into the deck now. It turns out it's just a Radiant Elemental. In that case, what am I looking for? Beard Nightmare? Mind Blast? Let's look for something anyway. Well, none of these are what I wanted, so let's just pick another Shadow Visions. I even don't even have a Spellstone in hand, so all of my spells are essentially useless. He goes on and spends the coin now. Alright. So, do I want to kill this Velen? I don't really want to kill it. That will just allow him to resurrect it. Or do I? Because I have a couple of options here. Obviously I can simply play Anduin. This is the build with Lich Kings and stuff as well. I think I'll scream it. This is the build with Lich Kings and stuff, so he's not very likely to get to the Velen again very quickly. Of course, if he has like Malygos here, then that would be a big problem. If he has just Lich King, it's a bit less of a problem. And if he resurrects more Lich Kings... I have also the option to simply jam the Malygos here. It might be a little bit risky. I guess we play the Anduin. Kill off the Lich King. You play double served and 1 copy of Mass Dispel. Yes, McMozzie, yes. Killing since his rest won't be reliable, gallery can kill you. He already has the Velen in the gallery anyway, because that was a Shadow Essence Velen. It wasn't the real Velen. Oh, dear. Now he stole a Radiant Elemental from me. Phew, that was close. Time to play Malygos and see what happens. Yeah, it would have been more interesting to kill it if it was the real Velen, but because it was the Shadow Essence Velen, then that wouldn't help so much. We've now seen 2 Screams, but he has a 3rd Scream left. So life could still be better. And also because he's Shadow Reaper Anduin, then he can just ping down some of those minions. Velen is the line. Okay, so we ping first, then we play Shadow Visions and we look for the Shadow Essence. I can't find a Shadow Essence, but I can find a Cloning Gallery. I think we take that. Let's see. So Cloning Gallery gives me Radiant Elemental, Velen, Malygos. That means that Mind Blast is 20 and costs 1. This one is... This one will be 14. And of course it's lethal. What am I talking about? 20 plus 40. I don't know what I was talking about. Sorry, of course that was lethal. I might try with something like this. This Kakora gallery is mostly to spawn stuff for Resurrect later. Well, that is one of the uses of Gallery, obviously. Alright, alright. So still no real idea what this is. I'm starting to think this is Q-block, because the Mecha'thun Warlock would usually have something to play there, right? Or at least here. So I think this is going to be a Q-block. What do I need to beat Q-block? Is there something I can Shadow Visions into right now? I guess not yet. I mean, it might be that I need a Psychic Scream. And it might be that I don't.
Winter is here.
It is actually Mecha'thun. Well, actually there are some Q-block builds that run Corpse Taker too. So I'm uncertain. That's going to heal him up so well. That is a downside. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Now this looks like the line now. So that I can Celiax down the Corpse Taker next turn. Then I'm playing Control Anti-Combo Warlock at the moment. No, they're not very good right now. I'm not completely sure what this is, because I was expecting if it was Mecha'thun Warlock that it would be playing more cards in order to draw stuff.
Unity, precision.
So we get rid of that one and stop that healing from there. That's something that I find important now. I don't want him to keep healing himself up. Okay, definitely Mecha'thun. Alright, alright. Who gets the good stuff first? He obviously has Mecha'thun. Coining Velen isn't really an answer yet. Screaming this board, not really an answer yet. I would need to I would need to be able to get a second Mind Blast somehow. That would be important to me. That was not very useful. Clone Priest is the worst matchup for Mecha'thun Warlock. Yes, this should indeed be able to beat this on a fairly consistent basis. He probably wants to keep his board clear so that I cannot scream. So he wants to defile this board. Maybe he doesn't want to defile this board. Alright. He has 12 cards left in the deck. Scream is always good against Mecha'thun. True, true.
Let the pain speak to me.
An interesting approach. Too bad I don't have a Vivid Nightmare in hand. Do I just kill my own Velen? If I can Shadow Visions for a Vivid Nightmare, then this will be 20. And this will be 8. And that will be a win. I cannot, unfortunately, get that Vivid Nightmare. Tough. I also couldn't get a Mind Blast. Mind Blast would have been good. I would have liked a Mind Blast. Well, well. It's not going quite as well as I hoped it would. I just don't have the damage numbers here. I had the option to play Anduin. That would kill the Velen. Would give me a Servitude on Velen later. Because he's probably going to go for some kind of a play that draws him cards and kills off the Velen. He might even have all the combo pieces. I know he has Mecha'thun, so I don't know if he has Blood Bloom or Cataclysm. Might even have multiple combo pieces available already. So really looks like some kind of defile play is coming. If he has the combo pieces already, then he doesn't care about burning cards. So he has the full combo. He has the full combo. Alright, that's a bit of a problem then. He still has spell stones. How do I delay and also do things? Radiant Elemental has died. Celiax has died. Velen has died. So this is not even guaranteed to bring back Velen. If I can bring back Velen with this, that doesn't guarantee anything. If I don't scream this back, he gets to 30 now. I can probably afford that. There's nothing to be an Anduin target in that deck. I can probably scream stuff after this turn. Hopefully there will be things to scream. He's happy just burning cards. So resurrecting Velen gives me 10, gives me 18. It can give me more after Shadow Visions. 10, 20, 28. Alright, so we tried Shadow Visions for a Mind Blast.
Darkness speaks to me.
I can pick up a Vivid Nightmare. So Vivid Nightmare Velen, Vivid Nightmare, this becomes 20 damage. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. So it's then 20 plus 8, plus 8, yeah. That will then be lethal. I can simply scream this now. And next turn 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. I have a coin. So I will have lethal next turn. Okay. He still had 4 cards left in the deck when that happens. Yes, this is fine. This is good. This is very good. Well, he actually got very, very close. Yeah, I don't really care about the end, that's the thing. I'm fine with the end.
Not all who wander are lost. Not all who wander are lost.
There. Probably not keeping a spellstone here. I kind of would like to. Maybe I can afford to because I have Mass Hysteria and Shadow Visions. So that everything I do will start to buff up that spellstone. I should be able to find enough defensive means with these. Finally, Hunter. Finally. Finally. Do you have Shadow Visions yet? No, it's too early. I don't think you can afford Spellstone Keep. That's possible. I see what you're saying. And I don't completely disagree. Because I know I'm being a bit greedy. The key point here is, do I survive? Oh, well, that Dire Frenzy might just mean that I don't survive. Now that's a huge problem. Did you already play the newish Mecha'thun on stream? Yeah, I've played it. Okay, now this Diamole is just going to kill. That's unfortunate. I was hoping for a different result. Yeah, I think I just died. I think I need to take a bit of a chance here. Let's see. So he only needs 6 from hand. So he might... Kill command isn't enough to kill me. But there might be other things. Like +3 attack now would kill me. Well, not after the tracking, of course. That's rough. Can we get both of these to hit into that one? We can. It's probably still not enough. Because I'm still dead to a kill command or various other things. I'm dead to a life drinker. Actually, I'm not dead to a life drinker. But I will be dead to his hero power next turn. Unless I rolled Celiax from this Shadow Essence. Right, that is the only out. That is the only out. That is not good enough.
It is finished. You win.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.